Horace, born Horatio Smith, the 31st of December 1779 to the 12th of July 1849, was an English poet and novelist, perhaps best known for his participation in a sonnet-writing competition with Percy Bysshe Shelley. It was of him that Shelley said, "Is it not odd that the only truly generous person I ever knew who had money enough to be generous with should be a stockbroker? He writes poetry and pastoral dramas and yet knows how to make money, and does make it, and is still generous." Biography. Smith was born in London, the fifth of 8 children, son of Robert Smith, 1747 to 1832, FRS, and his wife Mary Bogle. He was educated at Chigwell School with his elder brother James Smith, also a writer. Horace first came to public attention in 1812 when he and his brother James, 4 years older than he, produced a popular literary parody connected to the rebuilding of the Drury Lane Theatre after a fire in which it had been burned down. The managers offered a prize of £50 for an address to be recited at the theatre's reopening in October. The Smith brothers hit on the idea of pretending that the most popular poets of the day had entered the competition and writing a book of addresses rejected from the competition in parody of their various styles. James wrote parodies of Wordsworth, Southey, Coleridge and Crabbe, while Horace parodied Byron, Moore, Scott and Bowles. The book became very popular and went through 7 editions within 3 months. The Rejected Addresses still stands the most widely popular parodies ever published in the country. The book was written without malice. None of the poets caricatured took offense, while the imitation is so clever that both Byron and Scott claimed that they could scarcely believe they had not written the addresses ascribed to Themisia. The only other collaboration by the two brothers was Horace in London, 1813. Smith went on to become a prosperous stockbroker. Smith knew Shelley as a member of the circle around Leigh Hunt. Smith helped to manage Shelley's finances. Sonnet-writing competitions were not uncommon. Shelley and Smith wrote competing sonnets on the subject of the Nile River, inspired by Diodorus Siculus. Book 1, Chapter 47. They each wrote and submitted a sonnet on the subject to the Examiner. Shelley's Ozymandias was published on the 11th of January 1818 under the pen name Glorastes, and Smith's was published on the 1st of February 1818 with the same title under the initials HS, and was later renamed in his collection Amaranthus on a stupendous leg of granite, discovered standing by itself in the deserts of Egypt, with the inscription inserted below. After making his fortune, Horace Smith produced a series of historical novels: Brambletye House, 1826, Tor Hill, 1826, Reuben Apsley, 1827, Zillah, 1828, The New Forest, 1829, Walter Colleton, 1830, among others. 3 volumes of Gaieties and Gravities, published by him in 1826, contain many clever essays both in verse and prose, but the only piece that remains much remembered is the addressed to the Mummy in Belzoni's exhibition. See Giovanni Battista Belzoni. Horace Smith died at Tunbridge Wells on the 12th of July 1849. Notes. Works by Horace Smith at Project Gutenberg. Works by Horace Smith at LibriVox. Public domain audiobooks. Works by or about Horace Smith at Internet Archive.